Hi, I'm Rinda.
I'm Jim.
We're Heartiness Approach.
Today we want to talk a little bit about our purpose in having a YouTube channel and making these videos.
Number one, we want it to promote good eating, and that's why we do it.
Growing our own food.
Growing our own food.
And number two, we want to talk about exercising. Yeah, when you're on a homestead, you're doing all kinds of physical things. But if you don't exercise and have your body ready, limber, strong,
then you hurt your back.
lots of endurance, you're going to do something in all amongst the physical things you have to do that's going to hurt you. You're not going to be ready for it.
The third thing is to be emotionally well. Being outside heals the soul more than being inside. Period.
Yeah.
It just does.
There's a lot more to being emotionally well, but that's a big part of it. And all of this is done on a homestead. That's what it's all about. But
now we are focusing in on senior steading and that senior group, 50, 45, even getting ready for that, whatever you need to do to be prepared so that you can retire to a homestead, so that you can wake up in the morning and go, I love my life. Let's go do the chores.
this is what we've dreamed about our whole lives. And that's really how we feel about it. I mean, this is fantastic what's going on for us.
At the end of a day, he often says, this is a life well lived. And that is a beautiful way to end a day.
A day well lived. Well, life well lived. I say both.
You do.
It depends on the situation.
A day well lived. See, I don't even know. I just know it ends in well lived.
Because it is. So today we have something going on that is part of something we're trying to do. When we were here before, we had applied with NRCS for their high tunnel program. We'd been accepted, we were going to be getting one, and we had to leave and say, no, we're not going to take it this year. Ooh,
that was a mistake.
Well, we couldn't have done anything about it, so it hurt a lot. We reapplied this year, and
actually, Jim, we reapplied last year and were turned down.
yes, yeah, we were told just there's no way, you have to have this long list of have-to-haves, and we only had a few of them. And we said, okay, we won't even bother. This year, though, we said, okay, we don't fit the list yet, but let's apply, let's start the process, let's get into the mix. And yeah, we don't fit with everything, and I actually spent some time talking one-on-one, a couple different times, with the person in charge of the program here in our area. And I think I developed a bit of a relationship. She could see some of our vision in what we're doing and put a little bit more weight on what we have going on. And that helped to the point that, yeah, okay, fine, go ahead. That's a good idea to apply. It's very competitive. We have more people applying now than we used to. We're running out of money, whereas before they had money left over. They didn't have enough people applying, getting awarded the high tunnels.
But building a rapport worked because she called us up and said, can I come over and look at the place you're going to do it? We know we're still not going to get it this year, but she's coming this morning.
Well, she's doing her investigation to add into our file that as they, in the next month or so, go through their decision process and decide who will be selected this year. So we'll see how that fits for us. But we had already started. We have done everything we could do up to this point in the process. We plowed the land, and we'll show you that. And we've gotten it ready. We're fertilizing it. We're going to fence it off. And then no matter what happens, we're gardening this year. One of the requirements, in addition to producing a crop of some kind and doing a vegetable garden, a market garden type of situation is what you have to do. We have to be selling the products somewhere, and that we plan to do. We're going to grow more than what we need for us, and we're going to sell it. And there's also a requirement to actually give some away to like food pantries or to needy people.
Which is definitely on our plan. It was on my radar long before I knew that it needed to be something that was done. Is we often work at the food pantry and they need fresh produce, but we also would like to start programs where we find seniors who don't go there and be able to take some food into them. So this is some of our goals, to be able to spread our vegetables and love around.
Yes, spread the love on the vegetables.
We're gonna go out like now and put a fence up so that we can keep Brisket from running and frolicking through the garden. Behind me, Jim is in our slipper garden from last year, and he is actually pulling up the T-posts that were there to hold our round trellis that we had. We already had to pull the trellis down to use it for the pigs. And we have already decided on a different way that we're going to be doing this garden. So the best thing for us to do is to repurpose these T-posts. And so one of the things we're going to do is take these T-posts out and put them across to block off the cows from that end of the pasture where we are going to be having our garden. And we put our garden there because it's a very flat area, so that we'll be able to eventually put a high tunnel up there. We have a hill, we are on hills. So there's a hill that's up to the east side, and we will definitely have to build a trench around our high tunnel and around our garden so that our garden doesn't get flooded, but that's just part of being able to make it work. So that's why he's taking these down right now. This instrument that he is using is a fence popper. Is it a pole popper? What's it called, Jim?
Post popper.
It's called a post popper. We'll put a link below. We got ours off of Amazon, and this thing is wonderful. It pulls up so many different things. It pulls up huge posts, 4x4 posts and everything. You can see how fast he's being able to pull these out, and we love it. So it's one of those tools that we didn't have our first year here, and we will never be without it again. It's also a really good company. When we went on, we could see I think a little video that showed the people, a family that made them and how they were made and everything.
I don't know.
is our workhorse to save him a ton of work. It's called the 4-stroke 37.7 cc Titan Post Driver.
This is just the engine size. This is what it's called, okay?
Okay.
It's a Titan Post Driver by the Titan Company. They're actually here in Missouri, but it's a beast. And
it worked better with the stool, yes?
Yes.
Being higher than it.
Now, we didn't get the smallest one. We didn't get the largest one. But it takes somebody stronger than me right now. But these ends here change out. There are bigger ones and smaller ones depending on...
It'll go up to 2 or 2.5 inches.
Yeah. We got one that could go 2.5 inches, so you can drive that size of post if you need to. As you noticed on some of these, we hit rocks.
The first one. But the rest of them, we did fine. It just cranked him out.
Hi, buddy. You come to see what's happening, did you? You want to see this thing? Okay, take a look at it. You like it, don't you? He's telling everybody, go order one of these things. You'll love them. In this short clip, I am showing how to put the insulating clips on the T-posts. It's pretty simple. They pop on really easy, and they can be taken off as well. Very effective. Found them to be quite inexpensive and just a real breeze to use. I also counted the spaces each time, so I got them on all the posts at the same distance. It was kind of awesome. After we had all of them on, then Rinda started putting the poly wire from one to the other, and I am showing here her whole job broken up into 3 pieces. You're seeing it all at once, which is kind of funny, but she worked pretty hard to get this in place. She put most of the clips on and then put the wire on. This is a shot from different angles of what the fence looks like. This is the unit we use to charge it, to actually put the zap into the wires, and we're going to test it and see how it works. Here I'm fastening it to the grounding rod. It's a 4-foot grounding rod, about 3 foot into the ground, and by attaching it here, it's electrically connected as well as held physically in place, and we'll see. It's facing south to pick up the sun the best. It's got a battery in it, so I'm interested to see how well it works. We'll find out. And here I'm connecting the power wire onto it and then getting it ready so we can fasten it onto the fence when it's ready to go. Pretty simple setup. I really like it a lot. Brisket was so curious about everything that we were doing, so we took time to pet him and just kind of low on him a bit, and he really gets into it. And we show this a bit just to give you some idea for how much he just, it's not that he puts up with it, he wants it. I mean, watch what he does here. This is kind of interesting. He's checking me out now. He says, I want some more. He's a very sweet calf.
So I think we just had a day well lived.
I'm tired enough for it to be that.
Actually, it was just really cool. We decided to do a project this morning, and we did it.
Well, we've been talking about this project for a while, and it really needed to get done, and we kind of got prompted by the person from NRCS coming over to look and ask questions and so forth, and it let us know, this is the next step in this, to get it fenced off so that the cows aren't in there tromping on the garden. They don't need to be in there, and there's some things we want to do more to the ground, so having the cows is not a good choice. So now they're fenced out.
So the NRCS lady came, and it'll be a while till we get a high tunnel. She said even people that have had every single thing perfect haven't gotten it, because there's just so many people that want it now versus the money. That's okay. I asked her if we can put caterpillar tunnels over it until we get it. She said that's no problem. And she was super kind.
Yep.
And we'll just keep applying every year.
So what we've learned is you need to be actively growing crops in the area that you plan on having a high tunnel, and you need to be using those crops not just for your own personal use, but you need to be selling or donating and not just giving away. It sounds like it's more donation kinds of
like
options.
to food pantries and different things. We have some ideas of some wonderful things we want to do with some seniors who don't have enough. And
so really this is less about the conservation of the soil and the water than it is about improving the food supply. That's really the intent.
I know, because
that's a shift that
yes,
they've done.
very big shift, because they wanted to know if we were in a food desert, and we're like, hey, we felt like we were in a food desert when we moved here in 2018. Things are starting to change, but
that's very pleasing. I like that shift is going on.
I would do too.
That the awareness is, yeah, we need to do the conservation things, but in conjunction with improving the food security locally.
So to put up the fence, we, of course, pounded it all in with his mighty Titan. And then we put up...
Don't forget to get the posts. We used the post popper.
Yep, post popper, and then the Titan. And then we put the 10 posts up. And our blessed neighbor, when I was over there helping him with his wife, he says, you didn't go buy any, did you? And I said, no, we had some that we took out of our garden. He goes, well, I have a whole bunch that you can have. So we're just like, oh, okay. So we have some for the future. And then we strung 4 wires,
Four strands of polywire,
which you'll see us doing right
now.
Stranding.
We stranded it. We got stranded out in the field.
And the reason we have to do so many is because we have a Brisket who is a bouncy Tigger cow. And he bounces right through them. At least he did the other day when we didn't have them lit up and there was only 2. And he's gone through them before lit up when there were only 2. So we put 4 there. He came up. We thought he was going to get his nose. We were watching him. Got closer and closer, but he backed off. So he must have had some experience with this.
That's sure what it looked like. He got close enough to say, is this really it? Oh, yeah, it is. And he stopped.
He just stopped. But I feel really good about the 4 wires being there that he can't come through. We put gates at both ends so that we can get through. And I feel like we've just gained this amazing space that someday we'll have a high tunnel on it. But for now, it'll be a great garden for us.
Yeah, good-sized garden. And it could be, we can make it a little bit wider, I think.
Yes.
We're, full 40 feet wide. And right now it's a little over 70 feet long. There's a tree, and so we've got to figure out how to work with that tree, and whether we cut branch out of it or what we do. And
it's a walnut tree, so there are certain plants that you cannot plant. So all the tomato plants will be at this end, if that's where we choose to put them instead of here. We have to decide still.
Yep.
Because tomato plants don't do well by walnuts, is what my understanding is. So,
there's just a small list of plants that work okay with walnuts.
Yeah. We also need to let you know, we did a video last week, I think, or a week and a half ago, where we were telling you about 3 new sets of animals that we were going to get. And one of them we ended up not getting, and that is our little calf that we were going to have Missy do. There are 2 reasons why we didn't get it. The main reason is because we are getting ready to breed Missy, and we found a place that has a bowl that we'll be taking Missy over to them, and she's even going to milk her if she's still got milk by then. And it's a Dexter bowl, so we're trying to get a smaller calf, and we can't take that baby calf with them to do that. So the timing wasn't right. The other one is that we were warned by our neighbor who used to be a dairy farmer to be really careful to go and get calves from dairies because they are notorious for having salmonella. So I did a lot of research on it, and that is the truth. And they said if you get an animal from one of them, make sure you quarantine it for 4 weeks. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. How would we quarantine this calf for 4 weeks when we're supposed to put it right on Missy? And then they can bring disease into your home, or your corral.
Now, I thought too that he had some experience in Buffalo, that there had been some issues specifically with some of the business practices.
Yes.
Whether it's the people at the dairies or the folks who buy the calves from them and then resell them. But
this particular man swears to us that he only has healthy cows, and I don't have any reason to doubt that. We just felt at this point, getting her bred, it wasn't a good time for us to do.
Yeah, I mean, with both things together, it was like, let's hold off.
Right. We still are getting the Kuni pigs in about a month, and we ordered chickens yesterday.
Yes,
we did order chickens yesterday.
We did.
Jim, how big are our pigs right now?
Well, we measured them again. What day did we do that? Was it Saturday?
I think so.
I think it was Saturday. We measured them, and we measured the bigger one, and we were seeing them a little over 200 pounds.
Yep, 207. Today, when I look at them, they've grown, and they're supposedly, they're supposed to grow when they eat.
This is growth spurt time, so we're expecting to see a lot.
We are excited because where we put the fence up today, underneath the walnut tree, are a bunch of walnuts. So we're going to gather those up and put them over there. I think
for the pigs.
For the pigs, to finish them on the pigs, and then we're going to go get some apples for them to eat some apples.
We can find them. Yeah. Good quantity. Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do.
We really appreciate you coming along with us on this exploration into what seniors can do when they have a homestead. We certainly aren't the poster children for senior steading, but we're doing what we can with what we have, and that's what homesteading is all about. And for those of you who have aspirations to have some type of a homestead and you don't have the financial ability to do it, muster together what you have and do what you can with what you have. That's pretty much what we've done. We were able to stretch things out and find solutions and get ourselves in the circumstance we are. And it's a struggle every day to keep up with it. But we keep finding solutions and moving forward, and we're going at our own pace. But the really awesome part of that is that we thoroughly enjoy what we're doing. I mean, when we say we're living our dream, it truly is. This is what we've dreamt about, and it's sometimes pretty amazing when you think about it. There were a lot of times I thought we might not ever do something like this, but we have, and we love it. It's everything we thought it would be and more. Especially the work part of it. It's a lot of work, but it's fantastic work to do together.
Wait. He doesn't mean it's too much work, right?
You're not going to sit in your rocking chair and get it done. That's for sure.
I have a rocking chair that is empty most of the time.
Yeah, we let guests sit in it. So.
Thanks for joining us today.
We really appreciate it. You have a great day.
Bye-bye.